We load up the bikes and we pack up our gear. For it's a holiday weekend here in the United States, Memorial Day, which means it's opening day for many of the lift access bike parks in the country. And that's where we're headed today, to Arizona's only lift access bike park. From either the city of Tucson or Phoenix, it's about a 4 to 5 hour drive, depending on what side of the city you live on, to get to the Sunrise Resort. My first time up at Sunrise Bike Park, up on the chairlift right here. So one of the goals today is to make one of the most comprehensive videos of this bike park on the internet. And if you research this park on, say, YouTube, you're not going to find a whole lot out there, especially in great detail. So we're going to try to correct that today. This park is located on the White Mountain Apache Reservation and has a very natural, raw feel to all the trails here. You begin your descent at the top at 10,700 feet. Here we are riding a blue intermediate trail called Fungus, and it reminds me a lot of a trail up on Mount Lemmon called Aspen Draw. Now Aspen Draw is more of a true black diamond trail and very steep, and Fungus is more like a dark blue. But the scenery is very much the same and the terrain is very similar. And here's how the lift passes work. You can either zip tie the little car to your bike like Ron here does, or you can secure it in your pocket like I do. And this is how you load your bike on the chairlift. And let's just say it's a very unique method compared to other bike parks. And I'm going to cover more about this loading system later in the video, so make sure you check it out, because there's definitely things you're going to want to do to protect your bike. On both days I rode at the park, on May 28th and May 29th, it was extremely windy at the top. So you can see us wearing windbreakers here, so I think it's always a very good idea to bring a light one in your pack just in case. Yeah.
If you want, pass me up.
No. It's...
I don't know if I'm holding you up.
No, okay. I'm getting some good footage.
Okay.
And as you can hear right here, the wind was pretty intense on this day. Alright, let's get into the other things you can do at the park besides mountain biking. And there are actually quite a few things. They have these little bounce houses for the kids to enjoy, a very nice tall climbing rock wall, along with these airbag jumps that you can jump from several different heights, a zip line, and although the airbag jumps and the zip line were closed on this particular day due to the high winds, I'm sure when they're open they're very fun to do. They also have these tube slides you can enjoy, and it has a little conveyor belt system to get the tubes back to the top without too much effort. The park has two little cafe style restaurants to where you can get some food and some water, some drinks, and maybe a few snacks. One cafe stand is at the bottom of the lift line here, and the other one, which we will show a little bit later in the video, is at the very top of the mountain, and it's right next to the lift. You can pause the video right here if you want to check out the menu items of either restaurant. Along with the little bounce houses, they have these Euro bungee trampolines for the kids to play on and enjoy. The main building to the right there is where they have bicycle rentals, and to where you would get your lift passes if these ticket windows are closed. They have a fleet of Kona bikes to rent if you should need, They have hardtails, trail bikes, and enduros, but please just do yourself a favor and rent an enduro bike for these particular trails here. They have these electronic lockers if you happen to need one, maybe in case that you're dropped off at the park and don't have your vehicle or something. And just a few miles off site, there's other activities you can enjoy, such as horseback riding. And you can go to the nearby lakes, go fishing, and go camping. And you can stop by the general store and get some basic supplies. I didn't get a chance to go to the store here, but the next trip, I'll take some footage. There are plenty of places to rest, hang out, and relax, maybe eat some food, but just so you know, per park rules, you are not allowed to bring in outside food. However, most of us would just go to the parking lot to our vehicles and raid the lunch boxes after about the 4th or 5th lap of the day. Okay, here is the other restaurant cafe that is at the top of the lift line. You can hang out here and discuss the next trails that you and your pals are going to ride down, or even discuss this video about how Trail Monster made an epic video of Sunrise Bike Park. You can just sit out on the patio benches and enjoy these 360-degree panoramic views. Or you can go inside, hang out on these tables if you need to get out of the weather, the wind, and or the rain, and just get rested up for the next epic ride down the mountain. This is Baldo Trail, which means wolf in Apache. And after talking to one of the locals, it could even be roughly translated into maybe coyote. And that kind of makes sense because coyotes are probably way more prevalent in these parts than a wolf would be. This trail is a blue intermediate trail, but it used to be a green beginner trail last year called the Green Spot. They did some work on it, upgraded it to a blue, but regardless, it's still a very fun trail, and I believe it's a good one to start your park day with a warm-up. It's definitely the longest trail in the park, and when combined with the Pinedale Trail, it's about a 3-mile ride. The one complaint people have about this trail is the small 5 to 10 minute climb to get back over to Pinedale Trail to ride back down to the lift line. But the climb isn't that bad. Let's take a look at the brochure map that the park provides and we'll show you the route. On the left where it says Sunrise Peak, we'll follow the trail down the backside of the mountain. And as you can see, this trail heads away from almost all the other trails that are in the park. Once you get to the Cyclone Base building, that's when you'll begin your couple minute climb to get over to Pinedale. And Pinedale will get you back down to the lift line. And as you can see on the brochure, there's actually 2 different lift lines, and we'll discuss that in a minute.
Nice.
And as you can see, Pinedale is a very easy beginner trail, but still super fun to ride. And up in front of us here is the secondary lift line, so let's talk about that. Lift number 1 takes you all the way up to the top of the mountain, where lift number 8, which is really just lift number 2, only takes you halfway up. And one of the reasons for this is that beginner riders can start their descents on the easier, lower trails. This particular lift isn't used that often, but when it is, it's usually used by more beginner riders. And just so you know, you can only get 1 bike at a time on the chairlift, but it's usually not a problem because, like I said, it's rarely used. And looking at the map here, it actually is kind of nice that they have this midway lift option, because all the trails at the very top of the main lift line, they're more advanced trails with only really one option of a beginner trail to get down to the lower beginner trails. And as you can see, you have 3 options for these easier lower green trails with Pinedale, Bonito, and Shush. Just be careful not to get on those Black Diamond trails by accident. And we'll cover more about that just a little bit later in the video. So the one and only green trail option you have at the top of the lift line at Sunrise Peak is actually going down the main service road to access the lower mid green trails. This is good to know just because sometimes that secondary mid lift line might be closed. One important note about this service road, it's a 2-way trail, so you might encounter bikers pedaling up and or hikers as well. Another topic to bring up about this park is the signage. The signage here can get a little confusing and probably needs a little work. So like right here, I'm on a blue intermediate trail, but all of a sudden it turns into a black diamond trail without much warning other than this sign right here. And as far as I could see, there was no other way to avoid this route, at least that wasn't marked clearly. So the next thing you know, I'm going down a pretty gnarly black diamond trail, thinking I started on a blue intermediate trail.
Whoa, that was kind of sketchy.
Luckily for me, I'm able to survive most black diamond trails, but I could see this being a problem if you're more of a blue intermediate rider and not quite that advanced yet.
I remember this yesterday.
Just be very careful and walk any sections that you might need to. Alright, let's get into the pros and cons of this park, the good and bad if you will, as we get ready to follow Brandon down Chutes and Ladders Trail. So while the pros is the most obvious, this is a lift access bike park. Hardly any pedaling required, fun downhill descents. It's only $39 for an all-day lift pass, and the park has a variety of natural-like trails. If you live and ride in Tucson, we compare this park as if riding Mount Lemmon with a lift. Kind of the same applies for if you're riding South Mountain, Somo, and Phoenix. At least at the park here, you don't have those crazy punchy climbs like you would on Mount Lemmon or Somo.
You hit those drops? You hit the drops?
What do you mean?
The wooden drops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like a little tunnel you're gonna go through.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Another positive is all the things that we showed you earlier that you can do with the family and kids besides mountain biking at the park.
Oh, there's the tunnel.
The lift lines are extremely short compared to other bike parks. If you have to wait more than 5 minutes, I'd be highly surprised. And usually, there's almost no waiting at all. This was opening weekend of the park, and I think the longest we waited was maybe 2 minutes. The staff at the park was overall friendly, and even one of the girls at the bottom of the lift line was able to teach me a little bit of native Apache, and I hope to use it the next time I visit the park. Alright, let's talk about the things that the park might need improvement on. They definitely need to upgrade their signage some, because sometimes all you see is a blue square, yellow circle, or black diamond, double black diamond posting, and you really don't even know what trail you're on. So right here is one of the things I was pointing out earlier. The service road is a two-way trail, as you can see somebody pedaling up for whatever reason, but hey, to each their own. And just so you know, this is the Midway logs that I'm riding by right now. As you can see in front of me here, you are able to hike up all the way to Sunrise Peak using the service road, if you so desire. Another major thing to note about this park is there's no jump lines or machine-built trails, so don't expect that when you come here. That being said, Jen here did find a couple little jumps that she was practicing on, and it was pretty fun for her. Just know this is about all you're going to get for now, but maybe one day they'll build some jump lines here. I do have one major pet peeve with the park, and it's the damage to my bike here to the paint job, and I'm going to show you what I think happened. I believe the paint damage probably occurred while rubbing up against the chair right here. It would be in the exact spot of where the paint is rubbed. I believe the park should probably put like a rubber bumper or something to protect the bikes. So my plan for the next trip up there is just to use a protective pool noodle, strap it to the bike, protect the frame, or something like that, and I'll just have it in my hydration pack. No big deal. Another thing to mention is that there really is no lodging right at the park. Their Sunrise Park Lodge is under construction, so that's not open right now. We did stay at the casino that's in Pine Top, which is about 30 minutes away. That's an option, but the next best thing is probably just pitching a tent at the park, $15 a night. That's what we're going with next time, I believe, so we'll do that. Or just find a nearby forest road to camp at. Now let me show you one of my favorite trails in the park, DH Collarbone, or what I call a lift line trail. This trail obviously runs under the lift line. It's a black diamond trail. It's super fast and has a lot of features. Hey, that's the only kind of backflip you're going to get out of me, but I still had fun doing it. And here's one of them really cool features on this trail I was talking about. Although this trail is super fun, it can get a little nerve-wracking when you got people on the chairlift cheering you on and you don't want to disappoint.
I'll race ya.
Blondie hiked up the service road to the top of Sunrise Peak, but chose to take the chairlift back down. We joked and wondered if somebody at the park would recognize me from my YouTube channel, and sure enough, somebody actually did.
Hey, what's up?
It's always so awesome to meet and see fans of the channel, so please always say hi.
Right here. Not today. Yeah.
I want to recognize a couple guys that saw me at the bike park and recognized me from the YouTube channel, but they're Tucson locals, so they know me from Mount Lemmon as well. I believe their names were Armando and Kevin. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but thank you for the mountain biking jersey. That's awesome. You can see I have it along with all my other jerseys. Wanted to give you guys a huge shout out. Thank you once again. Alright, let's finish out this video with one last lap down the trail. To all my people out in the Old Pueblo MTB crew, what do you guys think about hitting this bike park up as a group ride one day?
That finishes out the day.
We really enjoyed our time here, and we're actually planning on a couple more trips to the bike park. We'll probably make videos, so keep an eye out for them. Thank you to the wonderful staff at Sunrise Bike Park. You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
Good night.